one of the two. And that's where things get a little scary, because we have to say farewell to one of them. Inevitably, somebody falls here on Inferno at the end of this road.
That's right. We don't know what's going to happen, but we do know it's going to be big. So come on, Copenhagen. Give it all you've got. Inferno could be everything. So many storied series end on this map. Now in CS2, we'll see if there's continuity.
Warning, that's all it is. A little warning. Presence here, nice shot.
Ooh.
Clean one from Mezzi, kicks it off. Pressure's hot though. We've got two Molotovs in sight. We've got ZywOo and Mezzi executing them all. Oh, it's a full house. Woo. It's a B site stacked to the brim with talent. Mezzi and ZywOo shut it down quick.
And they shut it down sharp, man. That was real nice from Mezzi in a very important moment. Here are those shots again. Let's relive it. P2K coming in, 180 flick on a dime. Beautiful with ZywOo. Vitality start off strong. Hot start on Nuke for FaZe Clan. Hot start from Vitality on Vertigo. And now 12 rounds away, Vitality. That's what they're telling themselves. Get the anti-ego, get the machine going. Thing is, I feel like I have more questions about the players on Vitality than I do the players on FaZe. Yes, we saw a great map out of Vitality, but I don't want to see Mezzi and Flamesy carrying even Spinks over top of ZywOo. It would feel wrong if somehow they were able to pull this series out without him.
If he wants to contest with the greats, it's a hell of a map to do it. The time is nigh. ZywOo, here's them rumbling forward. That's all good. Bomb dropped at his feet. Clean response from Rain. It's bomb reacquired, MP9 picked up, and a little bit of map control for FaZe to just keep Vitality on their toes. The threat of an instant short hit, well, that could have been enough to keep Mezzi back, but instead he's gonna get curious. Oh, he's gonna get frisky. Closer, he will go to the Tech-9s that all sit in place. A sea of FaZe's players ready to respond. And that picked up MP9 could be the golden ticket to just overwhelm this site. We have Apex on a P2000. What has happened to his gun? Oh. Spinks comes through.
What's happening? But
the pistol at the very least will get the back of the head turned, but I mean, they've got such an edge. He hangs on for dear life. The assistance comes out from Flamesy. The deagle in the hands of Brokey. It's a reload needed in a high-octane spot. Apex, what is that?
I have no idea. I don't think he cares anymore. He's happy he got an upgrade. They can move on. A P2K inside a pit. A moment like that wouldn't be scary in a pug, a scrim, matchmaking game, even a group stage game, whatever. We're here in major semifinals.
On a decider map,
no less. On a decider map, no less. Yeah, like every mistake will be amplified. These are all these rounds obviously will be remembered more than any others that happened in this series, but they survive.
And not only all that context, but with FaZe barreling towards your A bomb site, picking up guns as they come running in, swinging with the M4s. It's nice to see a rifle in the hands of the Capitan and a nade that goes down deep. It's an easy second. Making sure to keep FaZe at a good distance. Little peek out from Boiler, gets Robson opening. ZywOo dead, but that's fine. There's layers here for Vitality.
Oh, Mezzi's attacking on 3 prongs right now. He's got balcony. He'll be rotating around through Arch. He's been very fluid. He was over in the B site. karrigan alone. And, you know, ironically, this might be a map where ZywOo does well because he doesn't have the ob. He hasn't been doing that a lot, and Inferno was one of the first maps where you saw him drop it almost completely for entire games. CT side, of course, it's more surprising. T side, you almost never see it, so there's actually some comfort there, I think, for someone like him who it feels like is trying to shed that skin in CS2. I can't remember what event it was, but there was the quote from him saying, you've got to find new ways to play. You know, whether he meant with the op or without it, he has looked for them.
One thing we have yet to mention all series long, The head-to-head between Vitality and FaZe is so incredibly skewed. And within that, as of late, the grand finals they have played against each other in the past, lopsided to Vitality's favor.
Oh, and he does get it.
When FaZe put forth a new flavor back on Nuke, we think to ourselves, here we go, the curse is broken. It's on home turf that karrigan will get past this hurdle that is Apex. But after Vertigo's statement, after this 3-round T-side start, and after a 5v4 has been queued up in the first gun round, the question remains if FaZe and if karrigan can truly get one over Apex and his men.
Apex loses his primary soldier here to take over banana control. It'll get used against him. FaZe know what to do with the space. We still have Bracket's presence in for Vitality. Questions as to where that bomb will go. But as you can see, congregation of the T's now.
Oh, okay, Rain.
Oh, at 40 seconds, they go for the re-clear on mid. They don't see anything. All the CTs now attracted.
Nice. Opens up the rotate. Apex dodging the flash. Going through it with support.
Whoa!
Gets himself the double. Almost the third. Recovered. Frozen in. Trading places. And reopening the possibility of a B-site collapse. But it is Mezzy to silently encroach, and he already gets through smoke. Now he's got the vision, but what he doesn't have is anybody to help him. Tree is occupied. Frozen makes the play.
Wow.
And that's what they're looking for. 4K from Frozen, the newest piece of FaZe puts up.
Absolutely. That is the kind of play you would get from Twist in a spot like that. Nowhere to go, everywhere to aim, and locking down 3 kills. Frozen with the perfect spray transfer on top of the opener and the closer in this round. All to deny this perfect flash transposition from ZywOo to Apex on what felt like the ideal timing.
And Apex nearly getting that third. Player close on smoke takes a ton of damage. Frozen upends it in FaZe. That's what we want, right? For the sake of this head-to-head.
Yeah.
For the glory and the greatness.
They used ZywOo's play on Banana with Frozen as the tip of the spear this time. Pairing with a perfect flash, taking out Flamesy. And they need to deal with his confidence because he will be coming forward on Banana constantly.
One thing we really have yet to see in this series is a strong back and forth. Slowly but surely, the makings of an excellent map 3. Thank goodness Inferno makes a little comeback.
Yeah.
Even at the start of the major, we weren't talking about this map.
You know, a match like this quells any questions I have personally about Mezzy in pressured situations. I mean, of course, lifting trophies, but still, if you've been watching every single game, you do see moments where you could use a little bit more from him.
Sure.
And of course, the big games are what it's all about when you're playing for a team like Vitality, but here, on this big stage, the way he started out this map, the way that he looked on Vertigo, I mean, you were just seeing him grow and prosper. And he was somebody who, when Henry had picked him up to join Cloud9, had the best reviews you could ask for. Somebody who knew every nade, who was great to play with, who brought no ego to the team, and was incredibly malleable. And at that level, could be a star player. Coming into Vitality, he knows he's not going to be, but he still needs to fit in and be a star in his role.
I like Maniac's take back on the desk before the game went live, saying that Apex is maybe putting him in a position where he has to take up responsibilities, do interviews, step forth, not just taking a backseat at the table.
Apex has dealt with so many soldiers in his life. He played with Masuda, who he said was somebody who was very good at sort of following instruction, but never would take the liberties and have the autonomy to make plays happen for himself and for the team. And that's sort of what he wants. You know, when he talks, when we hear Apex talk about one of his in case you were wondering.
I haven't seen this strat before.
Yeah, this is new. The highest level Counter-Strike only comes out here on the major stage. But whenever we've heard Apex talk about his teammates, it's always been in that context of how much can they do for us and how much can we set them up to do that or feel like they can take those risks And I think in the past, sometimes he's been let down, or at least feels that way. Even being as honest to say to ZywOo, you know, during a tough spot at a major, and I can't remember which one it was, but to say, without you, we can't do this. Simply put, you are the player we need. And whether or not it was that line that worked perfectly, well, Vitality obviously made a run off of that. Attack pause here for Vitality. And yes, ZywOo will be opping. And again, you're not always going to see this. So early on in the half, buying it for himself, not even taking it from his opponents, because you're even not going to see that as often from the T side, even if it's FaZe. That's what you want to see from ZywOo, man. You want to see him on the op as much as possible. He's cursed with a gift of greatness. You need to give him the best gun, and he needs to deliver with it.
He'll try it right here, right now, but met by pressure. Ooh, through smoke, huh? Oh, not this time, Frozen.
It was a handoff. ZywOo with a warning shot.
Ton of damage, though. God damn. Look at the HP for the 3 CTs that are.
Wait, what? He got both?
What kind of snap did that have to be? Oh, cue it up. Stick it on the highlight reel, because that looked like it had to have been a teammate.
Yeah, that's a backbreaker. Wow. That was nice. Off the porch. 2K opens up the round. It's literally the kill that makes the round right there. All rotations are stopped. ZywOo gets in a much better spot if he doesn't get that second kill. It has to be to the dome instantly from Brokey on his off weapon.
Foot in the door, folks. FaZe convert. Extended pause, fast pace, right into it. And that's with, remember, man disadvantage. And it's not as though they took over the players who had low health. That was just barreling towards brackets, swarming into the A site, and I'm sure we're about to see it. Something phenomenal from Brokey.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, that's something that where Vitality have a great round otherwise. It looks perfect. They have the exact reaction to FaZe going quickly up bracket after taking space on Banana.
So what was it?
That's what FaZe needed. We could definitely get to the end of this game. 24 rounds, overtime, second overtime. It's Inferno. Every clutch is going to add up. Every spray transfer too.
They're going to keep things active. Flamesy, one of the... Oh, right into it. That's what we need, right? If you're working with lesser pieces, get them active.
ZywOo or Zeus, he was in the clouds for that one.
It's Flamesy on one half, ZywOo on the other, and instant transition onto Arch side as well. But at the same time that he departs, in those mere seconds that there are not eyes on mid, Rain has slipped forward. Now he hears that departure.
Actually, this is massive.
He heard them ran, and Mezzi's just got the pistol. Rain, he slips into the A site with perfect timing. And that is audio offered by ZywOo. Smoke grenade bounces on Moto. They're going to emphasize a fast, short hit. And ZywOo comes through, lands his shot, but dies. Brokey's AK looking sharp, Spinks. It's just the pistol. What can you really ask of it? Flamesy started it, and he's not going to be able to end it. Apex into the bomb site down. FaZe tie early.
Uh-oh, that's a lot of magic coming out of FaZe. That's a lot of X factor. A lot of options there, a lot of moments where Vitality could have won. Any one extra kill in that situation, you don't want to overanalyze that spot. That comes down to the frags. Rain should have died 3 times over. And ZywOo did damage through the box, but no kill.
Good reaction time out of Rain.
Oh yeah.
Good fake from Brokey, gets hands on gun. Secures that third one for this FaZe T side. But that was, again, lesser weapons.
The last time it felt like FaZe could not beat Vitality in the grand final. They played on Inferno. It was karrigan to go for what looked like haphazard arch traps over and over again. He was pushing through smokes to try to catch ZywOo off. ZywOo was obviously in perfect form, and even though he got a couple of rounds that way, Vitality ended up winning the game and learning from their mistakes quickly. We are still seeing moments like that now with this drop back control, with Rain trying to peek into Arch on early timings. That's something that's special that FaZe do on this map versus Vitality exclusively.
Again, we get the triple bracket set up. Again, we're going to get the B-site players leaning back. Those early smokes took control of Banana with ease, right? We've seen fights queued up. We've seen Frozen fall and fire. This time, FaZe don't have to pay much for control of Banana. An essential piece of this map to go barreling into the B play with more util over top. Nate to pop the smoke as the reload comes out from Apex. This is not ideal. Now they've been relegated into the back of the site. The crossfire's been denied, but the flank is fast. The trade is quick. The box is occupied, and it catches them off. Flames, great coverage, but there's the difference. Oh. There's the FaZe clan. And yet here comes Mezzy. A flash attempt denied. It's gonna take more than that. A nade destined for Brokey to soften him up, and half his health is gone. He's got a smoke still to play with. And at the moment, he's got these two T's sectioned off. Does he use his smoke to block karrigan like Coffin was just obscured? Or he decides to go forward, but he steps into the water. Audio made, he gets close. What? It's a nice clean headshot. King Mezzy looking for the clutch, onto the bomb. karrigan goes out, sprays away. Mezzy, oh, it's so long. It's a 10-second stick, and he's not gonna get it over this line.
Oh, karrigan had to use everything in the kitchen sink, but he had the time to do it. No defuse kit means no round one. Another unbelievable moment that leans the way of FaZe. That was a great show of power, though. That was something, again, that's been impressive about Mezzy. It was a great attempt, but now it's FaZe in the lead. If you could explain how FaZe did this, you could explain their whole careers. That's the deal. You go up against FaZe, you got to be ready for this round, these kinds of rounds.
Oh, okay. Apex is.
Maybe bring some of your own.
Keeps it clean with the P250. Pistols in all possible pockets. Props with helping hands in apps, but they do forego control of it.
This is one of the most terrifying and unnerving situations for a T team, to go down 5v4 versus pistols on a map where you could win 5v5. Picking the site can be picking the site blind. They don't even have the ability to scout safely. They don't know what crevices the CTs have shoved themselves into, where they're finding evidence of the attack coming forward. But still, the time bleeds down and a decision must be made.
Yeah, but that decision could lead them into some choppy waters. ZywOo with a scout. We want that X factor. We demand it of him. Big conversations with his name in it all the time.
Oh,
and yet on the big stage, it just feels off. And right now, they're gonna have to maybe press in through smoke with pistols again in the right positions. Can they support ZywOo? No. karrigan, two backs turned, made easy. Desert Eagle here from FaZe, just off the mark, but only karrigan left. Not enough. Pistols in all possible pockets.
Wow, they locked off the back exit, came down to 40 seconds, knew it was coming into the B site, put everyone in a good position. And even though FaZe thought they were getting out of another tight spot, more Vitality players showed up and they realized what they were doing was obvious. Vitality knew the whole time, and they show us an X Factor round back to keep this game as competitive as possible. Winner of this map goes to Grand Finals. And that thought creeps into your mind more when you're in the lead than when you're losing.
All starts with the P250. Inside of the site now, Apex dies with no second kill. It's this flamesy Desert Eagle. Boom! Just like that, karrigan, it's a gut punch that just knocks it over. And playing on the skinny pillar, ZywOo nicely done from backside with the scout, also throws one in the mix.
And FaZe shows a lot of confidence playing B. He's played it his whole career.
Brokey going combat mode. Oh, it's fast!
That's a bit of ZywOo once again. They're using his own plays against him. Quick one from Brokey.
Vitality show us a flash of FaZe winning in the force in the round prior, but Brokey comes right at it. Apex from P250 entry into what was Mantis advantage.
He's clever and creative and knows all the nuances. FaZe brings this back a little bit. What we've seen in these moments is immediately FaZe seeking out different map control, going for top brackets quickly. And they're looking to elicit a reaction here. But we've got Mezzi on his trusted balcony. Usual spots from both squads.
It's a dangerous game right now on the B site.
Oh, is there a gap that karrigan can find with the way that FaZe rotates? That's the question I think he's asking himself.
I dare you. Oh! Through the smoke with no bomb, but no problem. It's gonna go sprinting down middle. Robs is here to keep the rotation off the heels of Brokey with the bomb.
He could see him in his mind's eye. Punish the fallback.
Who other than karrigan to take it into his own hands, to slip forward into what was a great recovery out of FaZe just seconds sooner.
Wow.
And with that, he queues up the 5v4 lead.
Yeah. He never fails to impress in moments like that. He could have lost, but FaZe could have lost a round if he didn't make a move like that.
I just think karrigan is so good at understanding risk. Yes, you could have walked through that smoke. Yes, you could have died straight up to FaZe. But the rest of the team has abs control, the bomb in possession, and is ready to hit A.
Absolutely. And when it comes to nerves, karrigan proved at Antwerp in the grand finals on Inferno, where he quashed them completely. You know, where he showed he could play his best until the very end. And he started off this game slow, but he's back to it. I think it was 0-4, now 6-6.
A man of the people.
That's right.
There's no denying, karrigan plays games.
He was winking directly at me. That's how we all feel.
Brokey, that's super quick entry, already with a smoke on the fallback too. The same smoke Frozen gets caught out in, but that's the kill that reopens the round.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. karrigan killing FaZe puts FaZe in the lead.
Yeah, that was both teams disguising their intentions. FaZe finding a piece, but karrigan getting the last word. You can make 10 right moves in a row. One mistake and the round is over.
Spinks just going for a nibble. Doesn't want to take the chance, and that doesn't just pull him back, but the second apartments players too. So even just any presence inside apps, seems like Vitality don't want to run the risk.
They have been extremely timid here. Now we can see the conditioning coming in on the map. But Vitality have done a good job of not actually responding to it. They are sticking to their guns on these setups.
Ooh, good. Oh, nope, never mind. Goes deeper. So Spinks can hang on for now. ZywOo's got eyes from above. Dodging flashes. First kills to the CTs. Rain can't recover both. Support here for the defense. Both sides of brackets.
But it activates the attack. FaZe up to the plate.
Again, he will be tested. Again, he could hold his nerve, or he could be the reason this B site falls to the feet of FaZe. That Opper's coming hunting. And Frozen comes out from smoke. FaZe gets the glance. Frozen gets the headshot. Nice spam out of the smoke. Brokey, there's the warning shot, but it's also an invitation. Apex over top, stuffs them back inside the coffins, and we go tied 5-all.
That's again, they tried to go for the backage control. I think it's karrigan expecting to get this space back at this point in the round, trying to condition Vitality. Apex not responding, playing aggressively in brackets. Perfect setup to deny any trades versus what they were trying to do. Get in and out, clear out 2 Ts, clear out 2 CTs, get back to their B site attack. Vitality were able to whiff punish in that setup. And even though it could have come close to the B site, they had so much material left over, they could take some risks, chasing down Brokey inside the site, denying a plant. FaZe now left with no funds.
Again, they want this fight, huh? You're not going to find anybody tucked in corners. Total forfeiture of Banana this round out of FaZe. And we just saw a rock-solid defense on the brackets control out of Vitality. So if you think getting funneled into this A site is going to be your solution, there could very well be problems ahead.
It is, yes. But when we see what's taking place.
Galil in the middle of the pack. Excellent flashbang. ZywOo's nade finds him. Oh. That was a critical juncture. Spinks empty-handed falls. And they have to ask themselves, do we have enough to force this retake, or have FaZe done it again?
It's too much of an investment, the op, right? How can they even mobilize it in the situation? There's no Molly for inside the site.
That's it?
They will leave.
That's all?
FaZe with a perfect call to meet a perfect setup from the last round of Vitality. That top bracket control on the rifle round was spectacular, but met by FaZe, who find an opportunity to jump out halls when there's no pit players.
We've talked about ZywOo's absence and Flamesy being on at times, but he who picked up all the slack has been Spinks.
Yes, and Spinks was the player deciding to play retake on Arch. Had to get 2 frags, couldn't get a single one. They get a haul safely, and again, that comes down to the call, right? They were anticipating a heavy brackets presence. If there's a heavy brackets presence, you don't have 6 players. You can't just be playing pit and bracket at the same time. So that's a good one from karrigan to answer back. This is definitely a battle of the minds right now, and it's hard to tell who's winning. Scoreline will dictate the narrative. A second timeout called here for Vitality. So we wade now into waters unknown. What is the next move?
So hard to get a read as to what will work or what won't, because it feels like both bomb sites have been successfully defended and taken over.
100%. We've seen it all.
And I think this really screams the depth that Inferno has for both these teams, in contrast to what we got back on Vertigo, where FaZe looks so lopsided.
And this flash, obviously. No chance to fight back for Mezzy.
And unfortunately, that's the crack in the A defense. That's Spinks showing shakiness as he sits 3-7 in a critical moment of this series, in the biggest moment of Vitality's major.
Yeah, it must be said. You can have a great map 1, but when you get to map 3, you got to be every bit as good.
Final round of a T side, you know FaZe can be proud of.
And this is one that anything can go. I don't know what's a bad idea in this situation. It's just going to come down to what gamble does he think that Apex took in terms of how they're stacking up. You know, they don't play vanilla setups where they play 1 on every choke point and hold.
This time it's an entirely absent Arch side. It's been a real consistency in having CTs on top of this porch.
But this can counter some of the default control because you can see over top of an Arch smoke in case there is going to be a lurk. Looks like they go back to draw on some new grenades as we pass the minute mark. A slow burn on this round. FaZe trying to build the pressure.
Rain sensing this presence. If anybody knows wallbangs and lineups, it's gotta be Rain. King of the cave on Ancient. Here's that util pressure that's gonna keep the CTs looking towards mid. Mezzy with the first one, but it's all about the setup of Spinks.
Oh!
Empty-handed again.
The perfect pre-aim.
Apex at bat. Clotheslines Rain on the approach. Second kill could be had. Oh, and sure enough, he does enough. 2 kills for him, 2 up for FaZe. And 2 stand on the other side. Flames and ZywOo demanded of them this retake.
They'll have to go for it, and they might need to win it.
Right now, they are working with a kit on ZywOo, but that means the Opper's hands could be busy. And Robs is going to take an angle that could very well catch them off. There's a little bit of distance between the CTs. Flamesy, first contact dead. And we've got ZywOo with no trade. We've got FaZe with no problems, because a 7-round T-side is nothing to scoff at.
That's right, that's right. A wax stamp on the round here from Rops once again at the end of a half. One of these teams going to grand finals, and both proving they deserve to be there. This game is shaping up to be as close as it can get. And thank you so much, Copenhagen, for being with us.
Clearing of top porch, very nicely done. You think maybe that Spinks setup is what gets him in with a kill, but back-to-back empty-handed moments there for Spinks. Back-to-back feels like too much.
Oh, we got the gears turning here for Vitality. There have been some investments. We don't know how light FaZe go into this second pistol.
Utility for Apex, smoke additionally. A lot of util here for this T side. Some kind of execute clearly getting set up in this one.
Big time. Well, let's see if they set up, and there's almost no reason to not sort of spend at least some portion of the time looking for flanks, because the map control is actually easy to come by time-wise. But it also allows for openings from the CTs who are getting frisky.
karrigan, this is such a committed position. He's not getting out of here now.
It can be all or nothing.
He is so committed. He is all in on it. Back turn to him. Crossfire's there, and now he gets out. Oh, with the flashbang. It interrupts them. It puts Frozen in a spot to try and take another, but nope. Smoke there, all is good. They've contained control of Banana with a double man advantage. All that utility, all of that execute, everything Vitality wanted to throw in this pistol,
yes.
And now it is down to a double molly, one flash. But isn't that the perfect solution for what this CT side is holding on to?
Comes down to where they land.
And looky.
Oh.
Apex may be off the mark, but the second one lands on top of them. It gets them to move, but it also forces them into the fight. And if Frozen's hitting hard like this, no problem! A slaughter on the top of Banana yet again, and a FaZe that shows no sign of slowing down.
What FaZe showed us in quarters was unbelievable. And again, they're here looking for round two. Vitality powered up after destroying Cloud9 in the most one-sided quarter that we've seen. And after Vertigo, you thought, okay, maybe they just had to shake the nerves off on map one. They're back to it, but look at FaZe in the lead.
It's a beautiful thing to see. Frozen and karrigan working in tandem after years of being apart, waiting for his call-up and being put in a bomb site with the leader he believes in more than anybody else. And that confidence is going to start to spill over as there is so little here for Vitality to offer.
Right now, there are no superheroes on Vitality. No one is wearing a cape. No one is doing what Spinks brought to Vitality on Nuke.
ZywOo's got kills, but it's not enough. It is not world-class. It is not game-defining. Rain, easy does it. Not gonna get anything going here towards brackets. It's a drive-by Glock frag, but it's all false hope here for Vitality.
Wow.
FaZe are simply 4 rounds from grand finals.
Yeah. The pieces are falling into place. They might be able to hit cruise control soon. That would be Vitality's worst nightmare. We've seen great players crumble on this stage in quarters already. It was surprising every time it happened, whether it was the Spirit players, the Cloud9 players, whoever. Vitality would be the most surprising after surviving that test initially. But at what point won't we be surprised? Don't let FaZe in playoffs.
Guns up to try and make a difference, but Mezzi already shattered. 41 HP off of the frag. And a flashbang here to set up karrigan. Now he is feeling it. And he will take over control. And with that, decide what's next. Fast rush. We've got T's barreling up short side. A sudden test of the A defense from FaZe.
Yeah, but
they don't panic.
Yeah, Apex is just so far ahead of everything at the moment, but he gets his kill.
That's why.
That's key.
Taking it into his own hands. Oh, but frozen right before smoke pops. Sends one through, and Brokey could slip in between the two that's left of Vitality. ZywOo cut down.
He can hear him. The echo of the footsteps inside of Hall. Spinks now needs this.
He's
1-on-3. They know where he is.
He's lucky that bomb fell down on top of him. CT's molly themselves and then put it out. He sees the one slip, but he's blind. FaZe may lose their bomb site, but it doesn't feel like they're gonna lose this semifinals.
It's just too perfect from FaZe Clan. It might be too much to bear.
I like the tempo. I like the pace. It's a risk from Apex. He takes it into his own hands, but he did deliver. ZywOo had to get the opening to cross.
That was Apex's X-Factor kill. Where was ZywOo's? You know, where was it in that moment when he pre-aimed Brokey knowing that he would be held? Where's that first bullet headshot that you need from him? FaZe have got those in spades. Moments coming out of Apex, who is now at the top of the board.
Their last tack.
One last chance to talk. They're basically in a position to try to fend off overtime at best.
To be in that team speak right now?
Oh, it might be quiet.
With Apex? I don't think so.
True.
He's got to be fierce with his leadership. He's got to fire up these players. We know what Spinks is capable of, but right now we're getting nothing from him. 3 kills deep, 15 rounds into map 3.
He's meant to be the electronic to ZywOo Simple.
And we start to see more and more confident moves coming out of the CT's. Pressure from FaZe as they have placed Rain in an excellent jackknife position. If they walk up here, he's gonna catch him. Mezzy had turned and dead. And Rain running for the escape, but Spinks will respond. Finally, it's something. There's also an opening. A chance to wrap around this A site to put pressure onto Rops, who's just able to get into the pit. Brokey caught, no support, unless karrigan has to come in. It is a clean sweep.
Yeah, that's a full court punish here from Vitality. One they needed for alive as they win the full rifle.
It's an answer.
It is. And it's not small either. FaZe still don't have tons of money. They'll have another buy, but...
And a parallel between the round prior with Apex getting aggressive on short. This was a fast transition from Vitality into that A hit.
Off the tack as well.
So tempo on A is now the red flag we raise for FaZe.
But you don't win a game on half the map, especially not on a comeback of this size. If they had to trip over the finish line and only needed 2 or 3 rounds, they could dress up this play differently and do it over and over again, but being this far away means Apex is going to show us a deep playbook or fail trying. There is no way he's going to be able to get away with that every single time. Got to be so impressed with Frozen and his integration, and of course you want to give credit to karrigan for being able to do that, and you can thank their past experience for accelerating that process. And the fact that FaZe have found finals already with him has already been impressive, but being in finals and actually winning are 2 different games. And Vitality, the last 2 times they met, they were the champions. They were the ones that ended the quote-unquote FaZe era, as close as they made it in the winter.
Honestly, though, you do catch 2 CTs a little off guard, right? The apartment's kill, Rain not thinking Spinks would look over stairs. And then Flamesy getting the better of the rotate and library as he had nades in hand. You put guns up for FaZe, they have been hitting. And plenty of more guns where the previous ones came from. It's another buy out of FaZe, but it's all they've got on this one. Vitality win this back-to-back round, this game's back on.
That's true. I think they know that too. And I think that calls for a slower paced round, because even if they grind down 3 or more players for FaZe, They keep that money fickle.
Whoa, they're ready.
Oh, big one.
Whole pack of players ready to charge, and they're not going to stop. karrigan, the MP9, not enough to get the multi-frag. Rain challenged. ZywOo goes over top, but he didn't get a chance to gun him down, so it's just the one-man advantage, and that one man hangs on to 17 health.
We're talking about two players on the other side of the world.
The nades that were left here. Oh, he uses it wonderfully.
What? And now the CTs, surely, they're going to try to join in.
They're still not moving.
Oh my God, they're not even going to think about it.
Even with that.
I don't know, Rob's had a full kit of utility. They just were having no thought of going for this situation. Vitality win a very important round. I think that FaZe know, though, if they lost every player on this round, that can be the save to follow. That can be the save after that. So it's an economical choice. Not the sexiest, not what you want to see in the situation, but definitely might be the wisest. Now, if they were closer and you play that retake over and over again,
yes,
it's definitely a world where FaZe win it.
Not just that, if ZywOo's not planting behind the fountain's pillar and that smoke gets popped open, I'm telling you, Rain's not shooting at the player by his side.
And that's the thing about planting grill now, because you can break open those smokes. So people are actually planting there obviously quite often. So somehow a win for both teams. I mean, FaZe don't lose more than 3 players. They can sustain to buy again. Vitality get their round and two straight to stabilize their own economy, build up a little bit of a nest egg on their side. 3-round game. And things get interesting once again. Look at Frozen. CZ in hand. karrigan, just a pistol.
Couple instances of real aggression from FaZe down banana. karrigan's going to try again, but I mean, what are you expecting?
Yeah.
Hoping that nobody's in that corner, that he can just slip into one of those spots on his own.
I gotta say, Vitality have done a really great job in this series so far of rounds like this where they don't have that many guns to work with, of making it feel like a full rifle. Setting up ZywOo for an opening kill. They've won with 1 gun. Flamesy as well, they've done that too. FaZe Clan are setting a trap over on the A site, but it doesn't look like Vitality or they themselves going to run into it. Thought we were going to see more money to buy on everybody, but FaZe will be perfectly happy to carry the guns forward again.
Of course, right? You keep that 3-player pack kerneled towards the A site. If the fight comes to you, you've got your best bet.
Oh,
but okay, a peek down middle, and you've now lost one of those weapons for good.
Yes, yes. They try to play this one as safely as possible, but now they're down to 2.
A costly glimpse down middle.
Now, this is one of the situations where your KPR as a lurker is
let
actually
Spinks
relevant.
hunt.
Yeah.
Let him go. That's 2 weapons now dropped out of Spinks. They're not round-winning kills, but they come with impact.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's... Oh, man. Everyone down here for FaZe Clan. It was 5-10 for a second.
Not to mention, you know, you've set up this entire round. karrigan pushes down banana with a P250. Why? Because you want to keep your 3 rifles for the follow-up, and you still end up losing them.
Yeah.
They could have taken a chance. They could have ran a risk, and instead, that round looks so much flatter.
In terms of creativity on the low buys, you got to give it to Vitality. They have come up with some good ones and actually converted.
And they hunt them down.
And in a hurry, we are at a 2-round game, and because there's no op save, there will be no op bot here from FaZe Clan. Barely enough money to operate.
Ooh, Apex just stares at the flames. The next wave sprints. No!
Oh!
No!
Oh my God. Alive with 2 HP.
What is that?
He almost got let down on that one. Still low.
He's still doomed. He's destined for death. Frozen's not going to let him get out of there. Oh! No recovering! Not this time!
Wow, the spray transfer from Frozen. Through the smoke. 3 down for Vitality. Not even at a minute.
This consistency in the banana pressure, right? From P250 on karrigan to 2 players applying it. A rebuy in the hands of FaZe, and it nets them 11. Worry not, Vitality. Tons of money still to play.
Yeah.
The nature of their round wins have given them that, a bank account to play with.
Yeah, they weren't just scraping by. It wasn't clutches that got them to this point of the 3-round streak.
And is it enough money to run the risk? No. Or is it?
Oh my God.
We've got Frozen and karrigan to deal with.
Surely they're just humoring them.
Two players who have set up great defenses for this B site. Now that ZywOo's softened, you'd think surely not.
Wait, he got a kill?
But his Tech-9 comes in regardless, and it's karrigan sat back waiting for their arrival.
Okay, I guess we're worried about trying to save on Banana. Thought their exit was blocked off. I don't know, but they lose an op and a rifle.
Get the hell out of here.
For 1 kill. Now, of course, there's still some money left for Vitality to make this interesting, but it's FaZe from a power position in the lead.
Let's fucking go!
Boy, oh boy. What a treat we have in front of us. Vitality, FaZe.
This has been specifically Frozen's team right? In these finals going up against FaZe. And even though it's only the semi now, this is what's kept him out of getting his first trophy on FaZe Clan.
Speaking of first trophies, karrigan in Denmark.
Ooh,
Every time he steps forward in the Royal Arena, the whole team talks about how much he wants it, how much it means to him. And this would be another chance to take it down in another grand finals, but it's been so elusive.
So elusive for almost all things, honestly. So the curse of support on it, maybe. It's the Danish teams who have stood up to the adversity of crowds around the world, but when they've come to play in front of their own, have definitely struggled.
That is very true, but it is also safe to say that I have not seen this many Danes in the Royal Arena. And as we get late into this third map, I ask you, the world is watching. Copenhagen, make some noise!
Yeah, let's turn it up.
Counter-Strike at its finest. FaZe rounds away. And Vitality, a great challenger. What's going to look different? What's going to be the pace? Because when we've seen those rapid hits towards A, those are the two things that ended up working for Vitality's T side. That quick switch.
Vitality have found some pretty good duels. It hasn't really been major mistakes. It's been a cascade of smaller ones that have cost them good positions. Getting B is huge for FaZe.
Great flash, but he doesn't clear. And then they get flashed right back. It's a turnaround, but still the trade. Numbers here for FaZe nets them this 4v4 at an instantaneous fallback.
He had a window of opportunity right there. And look at the CT shuffle right now. As we cross the minute, they seem to be worried about something.
That fast A hit.
Wait.
That's what they're worried about, the quick transition. Anytime something goes poorly, it's usually Apex moving into A, so karrigan puts pieces ahead of the hit.
It's a great read.
He's reading it wonderfully. But right there on the brim of mid, goes swinging Rain into Apex's crosshair.
But there's still more support.
They're back to back. It's Brokey and Robs holding on to short, a perfect dodge. They trickle down into the pit, and the Opera only stops the one. Robs with the glance down mid, trying to catch some kind of movement. He will!
Oh.
Again, it is ZywOo with nothing as he falls, crossing out from Ab. Oh. Apex is dead, and Flames with 2 kills ahead. Woo! That's nothing!
Oh. Robs and Porch name a better duo. Another major moment from him. Oh, amazing to see those plays. That is gut-wrenching for Vitality. A perfect setup, but the rotation call to go to the A site was beautiful from Finn. He was responsible, he was correct. And even though they came out of halls and there were no pit players, that's right, karrigan.
He knows.
He knows.
Back to the action, fast and with the pace. karrigan barreling forward, smoke indicates all he needs. Knives out, gonna cost him. Gun goes dry, Frozen again. It is bodies lined up at the base of Banana.
And FaZe were never able to beat Vitality in these finals.
Yeah.
But with Frozen,
yes,
maybe there is a little bit more clay.
This B site's been so solid. They've had to dig so deep. And with karrigan watching on from the wayside, the 3rd major grand finals for him and Rain queued up. All you have to do is stop the French Foreign Legion. Flamesy, Spinks crawling back towards mid. And Brokey, who stood up in the round prior, cheered with all his heart, is here with Op, and still he remains patient. Map, match, and a grand finals point. But with that hesitation over towards A comes this slow movement back. 2 smokes to block things off, 2 flashes to get them in, no Molotov to disrupt these positionings. It is Frozen and Rain to anchor. It is Frozen and Rain to keep FaZe this close, to punch that ticket to grand finals. We get the climb over top and a clean headshot, but Rain always stoic. And if you let your guard down, if you do that, you'll go. Look at it. Bask in the glory of the FaZe clan. The founding fathers of CS2 signed Vitality's death certificate. They lock in grand finals.
The second team to beat Spirit this